Okay, so yeah, so as you guys may realize, this is being recorded, and please ensure that your microphone is muted. We have this scheduled for about an hour, so we'll try and be prompt so that you guys can enjoy the rest of your evening. If you do happen to have any questions, please put them in the chat box. You can raise your hand or bring up your questions.
Sorry, how are we gonna do this? You need to stop at some point so I can actually do the translation.
I was going to stop on this slide, and then you can read these things off the slide.
Okay.
So I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you. Okay, well, thank you. Muy buenas tardes, gracias por acompañarnos. Esta sesión está siendo grabada. Si usted no quiere ser grabado en video, por favor apague su pantalla ahora. Asegúrese de que su micrófono esté apagado y tenemos esta sesión programada para 1 hora. Si tiene preguntas o respuestas, por favor levante la mano de manera virtual y comuníquese vía chat o espere al final de la sesión. Muchas gracias.
Great, thank you. So this is just the agenda that we have for tonight.
Esta es la agenda que tenemos para la noche, esta noche.
You'll see that we have a number of different topics, and we'll explain some of these updates from the treasurer, our recent events, and ways to be involved in our community. I'm sorry, Matt, I can't hear you. Did I miss something?
Mariana, you should be able to do it now.
Yes, thank you. We're back in we have interpretation on. Yes, we have interpretation working. Thank you.
Okay, awesome.
I'm assuming I can continue?
Yes, please.
Okay. All right, so moving along. See, why is it? Oops. Oh, sorry. So we have some meeting minutes that we have from previous meetings. And can I get somebody that would approve the meeting minutes from our most recent meeting that we had before this school year? So I guess our last meeting at the end of last school year. Would anybody like to approve the meetings from last?
I approve. Second.
Great, thank you. So as a lot of you probably realize, we had elections last June, and so these are the new board members, and you can see the names and the faces and the titles. But if anybody is on our board that would like to say a quick hello, I know we've got Rosalie here. Rosalie, would you like to say a quick hello?
Hi everyone, I'm Rosalie. I am the newly elected treasurer, and I'm so happy to be on the board, and I'm very excited about the new initiatives that we all have this year.
And we have Matt. And we have Andrea. I don't know if you guys are on mute.
Hi, yeah, I'm Andrea. I'll be speaking about room parents here shortly, so I'll pass it along.
And who else do we have? We have Katie.
Hi, I'm Katie Pipes. I'm in charge of communications and our fantastic new newsletter that's coming out.
And let's see, we have Lorene.
Hey, I'm Lorene. I'm in charge of all wonderful things fundraising. So I'm sure you'll see lots and lots of me this coming year.
And we also have Vanessa. Oh, Vanessa's on mute.
Sorry, I got here a little late. I am the cultural lead, so I'll be in charge of any of the events and things that pertain to culture in the event in the committee.
Thank you. And I think we have Amanda as well.
Is she there?
Is she on mute? Let's see.
I don't know. Is she here?
I thought I saw her in the waiting room. Anyway, well, I think she might be on mute. So as you can see, we have 9 elected board members that are part of the board, but then we also have our excellent supporting members. And so we have a number of them. You can see there, Vanessa's our volunteer coordinator. We have Micah on the call. That's our social media coordinator. We have Erica, who helps with our web design stuff and uploading information. We have Jen Frappel that handles our runathon, readathon. And then we also have 2 new additions. We have Miss Calhoun and Miss Granillo from the middle school. And both of those teachers are going to help us with our closed board meetings and serve as a liaison for discussions and efforts to include and engage and be involved with the teacher and staff community. So I wanted to say thank you for all of these people that have been doing a fantastic job as we get this new school year started. They really have stepped up and helped a lot with the various events that you'll soon hear more about, and the events that have taken place, and then the other things that are coming up. And just to let you know some of the new initiatives that we've done since we last met with you guys and had a chance to have one of our open meetings. As you guys may remember, last year we initiated the Parent Business Directory, and so this is something that is now on our website. So Erica has actually posted that on our website, and so you can find it in our documents section. And if you're curious to check it out, I encourage you to. There's a number of different businesses from our family, our community. And so if you're looking for somebody that you need something done, check there and see if there's somebody that can help you out to help support our families and our community. I'll just briefly mention we have our monthly newsletter. Andrea is going to talk a little bit more about that. Katie and Andrea have been really involved with rolling this new initiative out. Another thing too that we have done as a board is to step up our German intern host family support. And I think Rosalie might talk a little bit about that in the treasurer section, but we are looking for host families. So it is something that, some of you may realize, it is a really key element in our classrooms. I know my kids have really benefited from the German interns that spend a lot of time in the classroom. And last year we had 5 or 6 interns. This year we only have 2. And so it's because we don't have enough host families. And so we could have more interns in our classrooms instead of these German interns sharing. Like, for example, I think 3rd and 4th grade are sharing one intern instead of having one dedicated intern. And I don't even think there's an intern for the 2nd grade class. There's one for 1st grade, is my understanding. So it is something that if anybody has a spare room or an opportunity to host a German intern, there is still an opportunity to host an intern in the spring. So maybe we could increase that if you are interested. We are able to help the host families. It is now $1,000 per school year, so $500 per semester, to help with food costs and supporting the host in the German intern in your house. If you'd like more information, we can definitely share that with you. But something to think about if you know of anybody that would be interested in hosting a German intern. One of the big, huge initiatives that we did this year is the host or paying for the school supplies. And as I think a lot of you guys realized, we paid for all the mandatory items for both campuses. So that was 1,400 students. We purchased all of the supplies that all the students would be needing in the classroom. That was a huge undertaking and something that we definitely learned along the way. It is something that Rosalie, our treasurer, spent many, many hours. I helped her. And so it is something that it was not an easy undertaking. And so we are really grateful for the volunteers that helped us sort all the supplies. And it is through these donations that we're able to have this money to do these wonderful new initiatives. And so one thing that I wanted to let you know about, and this is something that Lorene can talk to, is the new initiative for the fundraising. And I'll let Lorene take it over.
Okay. So we have a couple old things we're doing again this year with fundraising and a couple new things. $1 a day has been around for for several years. But we really would like to kind of revive it a little bit this year. So we've set ourselves a goal. We are trying to sign up 80 either new families, so completely new to the $1 a day program, or maybe you supported in the past, but you give maybe $10 a month. If you are one that does that and you increase it to $1 a day, so that's for a year, $1 a day. So if you go up to $30 a month, you would also be considered part of our new 80 family initiative. Just by signing up, it's very easy. We have QR codes everywhere. And we'll be having more on our newsletters, all the things we send home from friends. There's a little QR code. You can scan it. It's very simple. I went through it again yesterday. Just for thanking you for signing up and supporting our kids, and all this money, as you know, we'll talk more about it, but all the things that she just talked about that we did this year, and lots more things that we're going to talk about, all this money goes to support all those things. So just as a gift, as a thank you, this little, you see an image there, that it's like a cooler backpack that you can wear on your back, and it fits a couple drinks, maybe a bottle of wine, things like that. It's really nice. We've actually seen it, and we'll have our little Albert Einstein logo on it. So everyone will be receiving that who signs up for the $1 a day program or increases it to be $1 a day.
Yeah, thank you, Lorene. And I should also mention that it's not really a truly new initiative. There are some families that have been part of this. We are resurrecting it. It is something that was launched many years ago, and we weren't putting a priority on promoting it, but because we have been doing, we've really stepped up some of our expenses. we are revisiting this $1 a day fundraising campaign so that we can, I know we have a lot of new families that recently started in the last few years. So we're hoping to get more families that can sign up for this wonderful program. So thank you, Lorene. And I'll turn it over to Rosalie to talk about the treasure update.
Yes, let's talk about numbers and math, the most important and most fun thing you remember from your childhood. So we have, as both Lorene and Christine mentioned, we have new initiatives. And one initiative that we ramped up for this year is Friendsgiving. We want to support our teachers in the classroom, and we want to support them with things that are tangible that they can really use. So we're supporting our things we have supported with already this year, even though we're just a few weeks in. We made sure that all new German students at the middle school had Schultüten, just like the elementary kids had when they first were enrolled into school. Then for the TK classroom, we sponsored nap mats and floor chairs because it is really important for kids to get enough sleep in during the day when they're still 4 or 5 years old. Then we sponsored specific for the kindergarten classroom wooden and Crayola pencils, so they get a grip and can learn to write properly. And we sponsored the supplies for the running club at the elementary school, so our kids can get really running in the morning and can all be part of the running club. So far, we spent $1,303, and we still have $23,697 left for the remainder of the school year to spend on Friendsgiving. So whenever a teacher sends in a request, we discuss it internally, and I would say 98% of the time we'll fulfill the requests that the teachers have through Friendsgiving. In addition to Friendsgiving, we also have an initiative.
I'm sorry, let me interject. If you're not Rosalie and you're not talking, if you could remind everybody to put yourself on mute. I know there's some talking in the background, and unless that's Rosalie, if you guys can put yourself on mute, I would appreciate it. Thank you.
So on the next slide, we have the grants.
Yeah, 1 second. There we go. Sorry.
In addition to the Friendsgiving, we also have a great program that is staff grants, and it's not just for the teachers, but for all the staff at the whole school. In these grants, we give the teachers the opportunity to fill out a form to tell us what they really want to bring to the classroom or to bring to the school, which is impactful for the whole student body. It should reach as many students as possible, and we want to make sure that they can think outside the box and do an initiative that will reach as many kids as possible. So in the past, we helped, for example, the middle school to have soccer uniforms, and we also helped to install some shades. So it's just a little bit of a higher ticket item, which is not covered by Friendsgiving. And that's why we're reserving a higher amount for the staff to apply for. And we have 2 grants that we reward, one in the fall and one in the spring. And there is an application deadline later this year, and the teachers and staff can just fill out the form and make sure that whatever they feel is needed, that they can apply for. And the next one will be at the end of April. And as it's on the slide, we have a total of $25,000 for that, so 12.5 each year. So, and now the hard numbers. We spent already a good amount of money, mainly for the school supplies. And as Christine was alluding to, most of the money we make, our main income comes through the $1 a day donations. So as you can see on the left, we got a little bit over $8,000 in $1 a day donations this year already. And through the pizza party and the Kinder Tea donations, we also made almost $1,000. And then last Friday, we had the churro sale where we made over $1,000. So yay. On the other side, on the right side, we have the expenses. We spent a lot of money on school supplies. We exceeded our budget a little bit there, but we're still in the process of returning things to the stores, and refunds take a little time. So we will be a little bit over budget this year, but because it's just the first time, we still have to work out how we can get the best deals on that and how to just get the best pricing when we buy in bulk. So we're still working on that. As I alluded to 2 slides earlier, the Friendsgiving, we spent $1,300 on that. Our main expense in terms of events this year already was the pizza party this school year. And we spent obviously money on pizza and on the new family welcome. When we, before the school starts, we have an event where we welcome the new elementary kids and families and the new middle school kids and families. And on those 2 separate days, we just show them a little bit what our school is all about. And this event was also sponsored by Friends of FoAEA. Then another point where we had an expense, obviously, was the churro sales. And then we crafted some Schultüten for the kids in the kindergarten, where we had some expenses there. All of these things, when we craft something, are done by our volunteers. So if you're interested in volunteering and help us out, we are happy to have you. And in general, for events, we spent this year already $1,500. This mainly goes into expenses that will not be recurring. So I'm so happy to say that in the $1,592 that we spent already this year, we mainly spent that money on canopies that, I'm very excited about this, we had to rent in the past, and now we decided to buy them, so we don't have that expense going forward. And thanks to the wonderful families in our community, we can store them and we don't have to pay for rental for these. So these are all things that you can sign up for and just help out our community, and which this will save us money in the long run. Another point that often goes unnoticed is that we had about $1,700 so far this year, or just in July and August this school year, that we paid for the elementary school and middle school coffee, because we definitely want to make sure that our teachers and staff are caffeinated and awake enough. And that's why we had that. That's why we made it a priority to make sure that they have coffee whenever they need it. At the beginning of the school year, we had a lunch and a breakfast for the teachers to welcome them back to the school year. And we also gave them all t-shirts and gift cards just to show them our appreciation. And this was almost $15,000 this year already. And then we had $647 in administrative expenses, which is mainly rental of office space when we have to have meetings, or just fees and taxes.
Great, thank you, Rosalie. I'll turn this over to Andrea, who is our room parent coordinator.
Hi, everybody. Thank you everyone who stepped forward to volunteer your time as room parents. All the positions have been filled, just kind of in the last bits of finalizing positions for a few classes. And more details, if you are a room parent waiting to find out more what you'll be doing, that should be coming out this weekend. So trying to get all the final classes in place. And then, so coming up here in October, families will be asked to make donations towards their teachers' annual gifts. So that'll start next month. And that goes through Giving Fuel as well. So you can just contribute whatever works for you. I think the suggested amount was $30 in the past, but no amount is too big or too small. So that would fund all of the gifts for your teacher for the whole year. And then we'll divide the funds up amongst the classrooms equally. Let's see. So yeah, the gifts would be the birthdays, holidays, staff teacher appreciation week, and the end of the year gift. And then the other role is communications. Room parents in the past have been asked to email their families, their homeroom families every week. And as a room parent of the past, I found that was a lot of emails. So Katie and I have been working on the newsletter. So we're going to plug the newsletter. We're pushing the newsletter. Newsletter is the next greatest thing for Friends of AEA and what's going on. Katie, do you want to speak to it?
Yeah, so I think we're just trying to find like a central hub for where families can access like up-to-date live information. So we really just want to make sure that like on our end, we're going to keep the newsletter updated. And then from, I guess, maybe a family perspective, we're hoping that like you'll save the link. Our goal is that we're never going to change the link to the newsletter. We're hoping you like save it, bookmark it, put it under your favorites. And then when you're wondering like, hey, what's going on at with friends or what's going on at AEA, you're going to see our news. You can pull up our newsletter and you'll get some up-to-date information, and you'll kind of know what's going on with our events and bringing, you know, families together for the various events and things that we're doing throughout the school year.
And I'd like to add too, this is fully, it translates into multiple languages. So we are really trying hard to be inclusive. We want our whole community to feel welcome to the events and fundraisers. So please spread the word. I find that word of mouth is like the best way to inform those that surround us. So please spread the word. If you're wondering who, what's coming up next, go to the newsletter. Create a habit of checking it out on a regular basis. Katie and I will probably be updating it every week. So that's your spot. Look for the QR code. There'll be some signage being hung up here in the next week or two. You'll probably find stickers and planners with the newsletter QR code. The bottom of all of your teachers' emails will have the QR code or a link. So it's everywhere. And we're hoping that having the newsletter will really just reduce the amount of emails that's required to keep people informed. And then as a room parent, you know, I'm just hoping that folks can build bridges, create relationships, kind of like eyes and ears out there for us on the board. If you're, you know, chatting with your classmates, family, any information, any requests or events or things that you hear along the way, I would love to hear any feedback or advice. I'm open to that, and I'd love to share it with the rest of the board. So room parents are very valuable. It's not going to require a ton of your time, but it's much appreciated. And lastly, just overall with volunteering, I've gotten a lot of interest in how to volunteer, where to volunteer, how to do that. Fortunately, we have Vanessa now who is coordinating volunteers, it's just huge, huge help. And so if you are interested in volunteering in your classroom, you need to fill out the volunteer packet through the school website. There's a link here. And I believe that Matt is putting all this in the chat as well. So fill out the volunteer packet. If you filled a volunteer packet last year, you're still good to go for this year. So you won't have to get a second TB test for this year. And then as far as on-campus volunteering goes, you're gonna email your teachers directly, ask them how you could be helpful. You could even suggest art or science classes, running clubs, learning centers. There's a lot of specific opportunities, types of in these specials. I know I've helped a lot with art classes with Mrs. Heiselman, with the elementary students. So if this is something you're passionate about and you really want to get in the classroom or just on campus in some capacity, definitely fill out the packet and reach out, and that will be it. So any other questions or concerns or whatever around volunteering or room parents, feel free to contact me. Andrea Patton is my name. Thank
So
you.
I just wanted
to point out
mention-
that, sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna point out that we put the links for the volunteer packet are in the chat, and then also the newsletter link is in the chat.
Great, thank you, you guys. So just to let you guys know the things that we have been doing, as some people have already mentioned, we did our, sorry, one second here. Okay, sorry. So as Rosalie talked about, we did support the back to school efforts for the teachers and staff. We've hosted that like we always do. And I don't know if Rosalie mentioned, but we also did give each one of the teachers and staff a $50 Amazon gift card and on t-shirts that they get at the beginning of every school year to start off on the right note. Oh, actually, so we don't have Amanda here. Amanda, do you want to talk about our back to school pizza party? Or I guess I can.
I can do it.
Okay.
I know that I was gonna take that on. Yeah, so we threw the back to school pizza party on August 17th, and this included the elementary and middle school. And we bought over 100 Costco pizzas, and yeah, we distributed t-shirts, magnets, and just informed everybody about volunteering. And it's just an event that we put together so that, you know, you forget that you needed 2 more shirts for your kids. Morgan's Monograms is also there to sell uniforms. And we also hosted the Girl Scouts that coordinated the used uniforms. So that was a success. And then we did the Eisschulungsfeier Kinder Tea, which was held August 18th, and it was held for all the incoming kindergartners and parents. We had coffee, juice, fruit, bunch of baked goods, and each kindergartner got Schultuten. And we actually had made more than we expected, so we gave them over to TK. So TK also received Schultuten, which is really sweet. They got it on the first day of school. And then we hosted the Boohoo Yahoo breakfast at Harlan, and they gave us coffee, and we brought baked goods to share with everybody, just to, you know, unite with everybody and just catch up from being gone all summer. And then we also had the beach picnic on August 27th at Danzig Cove that Christine hosted. And then as of most recently, we had our churro sale that we sold out of 450 bags within, like, I want to say 15 minutes. It was incredible. And as far as upcoming events that we have going on, we're doing movie night this upcoming Friday. So be sure to get your tickets for that so that we can prepare. And we also need volunteers. So I think that's also being sent on the chat as far as volunteering, signing up for volunteering, the Sign Up Genius perhaps, and the Multicultural Festival, which will be also launching and sending out a Sign Up Genius for everybody to volunteer for as well. And then as far as upcoming events, the pretzel sale, trunk or treat, the readathon, lantern fest, winter mark. We need as many volunteers as we can. So if you have time, please volunteer and sign up.
Great. Thank you, Vanessa. And I'll turn this over to, I guess, Matt will talk about these slides, the family engagement.
Yep. So Vanessa and I are going to talk about some family engagement at AEA. One of the primary objectives as far as mission goes for Friends is to promote family engagement. And there's two organizations at AEA. The first is the School Site Council, and the second is DLAC, that are governance structures in which parents and families are involved. So I have here sort of the definition of the School Site Council. Basically, it's families, teachers, staff, administrators. We work together to spend Title I dollars. And so for those of you that don't know, AEA is a Title I school, and Title I is designated based upon the percentage of kids that are socioeconomically disadvantaged. And once you're designated as a Title I school, we are a school-wide program, which basically means all of our kids benefit from the federal funding. But the money really is directed primarily at those kids that are not meeting the academic standards for the state. And so we have monthly meetings for SSC. They're public, they're open to everyone. We really value everyone's input. I've got a link there. I think Katie's going to post the link to the page on the AEA site for the School Site Council.
Yes, I posted it.
Excellent, thank you. Next, Christine. So one of the big things for requirements to be a Title I school is that you have an annual meeting. And so the annual meeting for the 2023-24 school year is going to be part of the October SSC meeting. It's going to be on Tuesday, October 3rd. We're going to start with dinner and mingling between 4:30 and 5. We've selected the elementary school and the 5 o'clock start time to maximize, hopefully, attendance by families to coincide with after Stein getting out. All AEA parents are invited again, because we're school-wide. All of our students benefit from Title I funding. The Title I meeting itself is between 5 and 5:30. We're going to have some speakers that talk about the requirements of being a Title I school and the rights of parents and family members. And then after that portion of the meeting is going to be the School Site Council meeting. And again, it's going to be in person. We're going to have food. There's going to be childcare for school-age kids. And if you're not able to attend in person, it'll be available by Zoom. Okay.
Great, thank you.
Hi again. 1 second. So let's see. All right, so I'm just going to say a little bit about DLAC, and basically it's to provide guidance and input to the Board of Trustees, SSC, and staff that needs multilingual learners who are learning English. This also means that we are receiving Title III funding as well. So yeah, they have meetings every, let's see, they have 4 meetings a year that everybody's welcome to go to. 24th of October, the 23rd of January, and February 20th. This is one program that we really want to include in Friends as far as, you know, getting more involvement in our events and making sure it's an inclusive organization, and that's why we included it today.
Great, thank you, Vanessa.
Christine, I'm going to throw one last thing in here. So I had the opportunity to go to the DLAC meetings last year, and kind of building on what Katie said about building community. I mean, it was just really nice to sort of eat with other families and talk and really, I mean, I think hopefully everybody knows that the more involved we are as family members, the better our kids are going to do. And so that's why family engagement is so important. And so that's why it's so important to benefit our kids, that we do Friends, that we do DLAC, that we do SSC. And so I really encourage everyone out there to, if at all possible, to participate in one or two or even all three of these organizations, because it's really going to ultimately help your kids.
Great. Thank you, Matt. And so as we wrap up the call, respecting everybody's time, just wanted to remind you guys some ways to support Friends of Albert Einstein. And so as we already talked about, there is the $1 a day donation program that really is a wonderful opportunity for you guys to support all the initiatives that we've been doing, the various events, the give back to the students. $1 a day really is an easy way, as Lorraine mentioned, to have it be automatically deducted. You can pay all up front, or you can have it deducted on a monthly basis. And as Lorraine has described it before, you know, giving up a coffee every once in a while, or foregoing a lunch out every once in a while, really does help our community with the school supplies or the books at the book fair and various events that we have as a community. The other thing too that maybe a lot of people don't realize, Farm Fresh to You is also another opportunity. If you do any of these box type fresh food delivered to your house, and I can't remember what CSA stands for, but Farm Fresh to You is also a nice opportunity. If you're already ordering something like this, just make sure that you use the code so that we get credit. And I don't think Rosalie mentioned it, but last year we, I believe through our families, we raised $1,400 just from things that families would have been ordering anyway. So something else to think about to run in the background if you are ordering those things delivered to your home. And as some other on this call had already mentioned, we are always looking for volunteers. So if you'd like to volunteer for any of our upcoming events, we would love your help. We have the email address volunteercoordinator@FoAEA. You can always find information on our website. So there's ways for people to donate on a very minimal basis, or if you'd like to spearhead a particular event that's very meaningful to you, we'd love to have your support as well. And the ways to stay connected, like we talked about, we have our website, we have our newsletter that's on our new newsletter that Andrea mentioned is on our website. We also have our public Facebook page, as well as our private Facebook page. And I believe our private Facebook page, you need to be invited because it is more of a community type thing. So average person out on the street can't join our private group. So if you're interested, definitely reach out to any of us on the board through our website, and we'd be happy to make sure that you get added to our private Facebook group page as well.
If you look for the AEA community page, you can, if you're not invited, you can answer some security questions and then also get in that way.
Thank you, Micah. Yeah, wonderful. And to wrap it up, before we open up to comments and questions, I just wanted to summarize that we do have our movie night that's taking place this Friday. So if you haven't already bought your tickets, we really encourage you to get your tickets from our website. It is $5 a person. We will have pizza for sale. We'll have popcorn for sale. We'll have candy for sale. Obviously, bring your chairs and blankets, and you're more than welcome to bring friends and family and neighbors, anybody that'd like to come out. And the other thing too is just to remind you about our $1 a day program that we are doing the free thank you gift through the end of September. So those that sign up by end of September will get the backpack cooler that Lorene was talking about. So if anybody has any comments or questions, I'd like to open it up now. Is everybody on mute? Unmuting?
Christine, how about stopping the screen share? So
Okay, let's see. All right, now we can see everybody's beautiful faces. Anybody have any questions? Well, this is pretty easy.
While people are thinking, I do want to thank Suzanne and Karina, our ASL interpreters, and Mariana, who is our Spanish interpreter, for helping tonight. And I also want to thank Katie for being our Zoom master. So looks like there are some questions, hopefully.
Are they questions in the chat or people raising their hand?
So Stephanie Wolf says thank you.
Thank you, Steffi.
Anthony, you had a lot of stuff in the chat. Do you think, is Anthony still here?
I don't see him on there. Sorry, I have not been paying attention to the chat questions.
You just had some comments
We
about
haven't had any,
other
yeah.
things we've been following. So hopefully Lorene and Rosalie have seen that stuff.
Yes, Anthony had some great suggestions now that Amazon Smile has been discontinued, how we can still get some more donations and some fundraising in. So thanks, Anthony, if you listen to this recording again, we will follow up with that.
Yeah, I would actually like to say that for anybody that's on this call that has ideas, Anthony is a great example of, he was very passionate about the Lego robotics. And so it is something that he brought the Lego robotics program to a lot of families here in our community. I know Lorene is involved and a number of other families. Their kids that were involved last year and are continuing again this year. So it is something that we hope to grow and build on that, and hopefully have many more students involved in teams moving forward. So if anybody on this call has a passion or something that they'd like to be involved in, please reach out to any one of us. We'd love to support you in any way that we can. Any other comments or questions? All right.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Katie.
Oh, I was just gonna say, just to piggyback on what Matt and Christine mentioned about getting involved. I think that's one of the beautiful things about being at a charter school is that like we as parents and family and community are stakeholders in our school, and so we get to have that sort of advocacy. And so I just want to empower the group to get involved in whatever capacity you can. And I know everyone can do it in different ways. So.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of different ways. It could be very small scale behind the scenes. It doesn't have to be as high profile as some of our board members. All right. Anything else? Well, thank you, everyone. I hope everybody's enjoying the beginning of the school year. Hopefully we'll see you out on Friday night at the middle school for the Sing 2 movie. And then also, as Amanda and Vanessa mentioned, the Multicultural Festival. Stay tuned for upcoming details on that event and other volunteer opportunities. So thank you again. Hope you have a wonderful evening.
Good night.
Bye.
Tschüss.
Cheers.
Oops.